Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Movie Sense. This is a special one. This is everything you need to know going into Avengers Infinity War. We're breaking this up into 3 phases, or 3 parts, or 3 phases. Whatever you want to call it, we're starting off with phase 1. Avengers Infinity War is the culmination of the Marvel Cinematic Universe films to date. And I'm going to tell you everything you absolutely need to know about this film coming out April 27th. This is very exciting. It all starts off with Tony Stark in the first Iron Man movie. You know, Tony, that not so humble genius billionaire playboy philanthropist. Did I say that right, Tony?
Genius billionaire playboy philanthropist.
Yeah, well, in this first Iron Man, Tony gets attacked and takes a blast of shrapnel to the chest. But thanks to a fellow captive, Jensen, who is also a doctor, hooked up Tony with a car battery-powered electromagnet in his chest. Tony lives to see another day. This electromagnet keeps the shrapnel from entering his heart. Plus, it looks pretty badass. This is the start of something huge. So Tony and Jensen, they build a suit together secretly to escape their captors. Tony escapes, but Jensen does not. Jensen goes home to see his family. Sad moment.
It's okay. I want this.
Tony has a change of heart, and instead of manufacturing weapons, he wants to be Iron Man. Well, I mean, with stuff happening in between, but that's good enough. And Tony and Sam Jackson, Nick Fury, finally meet and talk the Avengers Initiative.
I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative.
In the after credit scene, that is, which, by the way, is the first of many after credit scenes to come. Let's talk the Incredible Hulk, because we have to. It's technically canon in the MCU.
Edward Norton plays Bruce Banner, a nuclear physicist who works at some bottling company in Rio de Janeiro. You know, Brazil!
This is Brazil!
Well, in this film, it's already been established that he is the Hulk and keeps himself calm by practicing yoga techniques and monitoring his heart rate. Well, he eventually hulks out on some soldiers and battles Tim Roth's character, Emil Blonsky, Abomination. Big deal. This leads to the big battle scene where buildings and cars get smashed, and he wins. Of course he does, but Edward Norton does not. Also, sad, sorta. By the way, did I mention that Tony Stark makes a brief appearance in this one? In both the movie itself and after credit scene, we are putting the team together.
What if I told you we were putting a team together?
Which now makes it canon.
Moving on to Iron Man 2, The Man in the Iron Mask.
That's not what it's called.
Okay, Iron Man 2. It's just called Iron Man 2. Tony and friends are back in what appears to be a phantom atmosphere for Iron Man, Tony Stark. There's girls, there's race cars, there's the expendable wrestler himself, Mickey Rourke. Yes, Mickey aka Ivan Vanko, a Russian physicist who seeks revenge on Tony for something Tony's dad did. Sins of the father? Most likely. Is this Whiplash or Crimson Dynamo? Well, he has whips and he's Russian, so I'm not sure. That's all I need to know. Hey, by the way, James Rhodes gets to be War Machine, kind of, and he looks a little bit different from the last Iron Man.
Look, it's me. I'm here to deal with it. Let's move on.
I just
Drop it.
We also get to see Natasha Romanoff, played by ScarJo, aka Black Widow. She's looking good. Who else decides to join this party of a movie? Nick Fury is bringing the quips, while the others bring the whips. Speaking of whips, Tony Stark is getting his butt whipped by palladium poisoning and the miniature arc reactor in his chest, but is no longer a problem when he discovers a new element that not only saves his life, but enhances the power of his suit.
That tastes like coconut. Metal. Oh, wow, yeah!
Well, Iron Man and War Machine team up to take down Vanko and do so quite successfully. After credit scene? Yes, indeed. Now let's get to Thor.
Thor? More like Bor. Rain.
Hey, I thought I was supposed to get this one.
Oh, I got this one, man.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mark. So, let me break this one down. Much like Thor's hammer and Thor Ragnarok.
Whoa, dude, that's phase 3, bro.
Oh,
Let's go in order.
All right, sorry. So if I do Thor, I get to do Captain America, right? Because he's my favorite.
Yeah, it's fine. Just go.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
all right.
whatever.
So Thor, played by the illustrious Chris Hemsworth. He comes down to Midgard, also known as Earth, from a place called Asgard, one of the 9 realms. Well, anyways, what happened was Thor was going against his father's orders and just battling any frost giant he pleases, so his dad Odin took his powers away and banished him to Earth. They hang out with Natalie Portman, of course. That seems like a pretty big punishment already. But anyways, well, during this time, Thor is, downing back old ones with Eric Selvig, someone you'll hear about again, I promise you that. Back on Asgard, Loki, Thor's brother. Oh, by the way, Thor has a brother. His name is Loki, and you'll hear more about him as we continue with the movies. Thor's brother Loki is causing a mess up on Asgard as a ruler, while Odin's in a deep sleep recouping his strength. Thor's friends decide to come down to Earth to tell Thor, like, hey, yo, homeboy, you know, we need your powers intact. You need to come back, all right? And so what happened was Loki sends the Destroyer armor down to Earth to take out Thor and whoever stands in the way. It is safe to say this movie to me was, but you know, I mean, the director, he had a very hard god-like character to deal with, so I can understand why. So Thor defeats the Destroyer armor and Thor fights Loki back on Asgard and wins. Everything is right in the world, or so you think. So I mentioned Infinity Stone, guys. We get a glimpse of our first Infinity Stone in the after credit scenes in Thor. Nick Fury meets with Dr. Selvig, who's an astrophysicist, and asks for his help in tapping into the power of the Tesseract, aka the Space Stone. We see Loki, who's alive and has Selvig somewhat under his influence, and then we fade out. All right, so let's get to what's really important. My favorite superhero, Captain America, the first Avenger. In this film would technically start from the beginning, 1942 to be exact, in World War II, where men were men, and Steve Rogers, aka Chris Evans, was kind of a man. Well, anyway, it's the 40s, and World War II is happening, and all little Steve Rogers wants to do is fight Nazis. And don't we all? It's because he needs a super soldier serum to match the power of his heart and his patriotism. The serum turns Steve Rogers into this well-defined Captain America we are all waiting for, and he's off to save the day. No, not that one. Meanwhile, back in the lair, we finally get to see the Red Skull and Dark
Zoller harnessing the power of the Tesseract.
Whoa, hold on. I thought...
Remember, we just talked about it before.
No, I talked about it, guys. I talked about Thor. It was a deal. I was supposed to talk about Thor, and then I get to talk about my favorite superhero, Captain America.
The Tesseract has been used to make weapons designed by the Red Skull to obliterate an army. This thing is powerful. Captain America eventually shows up to face the Red Skull, save some soldiers, as well as his buddy, Bucky, who ends up dying later anyway. Did I mention Howard Stark outfits Captain America with the vibranium shield? That's right, Howard Stark, Tony's dad in this flick. We get to see that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Well, with Cap's new shield and a can-do attitude, he encounters Red Skull mid-air on his plane in a fight for the Tesseract. Red Skull ends up meeting his demise to the power of the Tesseract, which, when unleashed, causes immense damage, and ends up burning through the plane and lands in the ocean somewhere. With the plane full of powerful weapons and no way of stopping it, Cap has no other choice to go full Captain Sully and just crash in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the Arctic. Noble moment, roll, after credit scene.
Trouble sleeping?
You here with a mission, sir?
I am.
Trying to get me back in the world?
Trying to save it.
It's the Avengers, you guys.
Yes.
The Avengers. I'm excited about this, you guys. This is the Avengers. It's the culmination of all the films in Phase 1. So we're talking the first Avengers. Let's get it started. As I was saying, the Avengers is the culmination of Phase 1 and starts off with that powerful blue cube, the Tesseract, also known as the Space Stone. It is located in an undisclosed location by S.H.I.E.L.D. This thing starts radiating an unusual form of energy. The portal opens up and Loki pops through this thing ready to do damage with that Chitauri scepter of his. By the way, that scepter of his has a mind of its own, if you know what I mean.
Wait, what do you mean? Does the scepter just have a mind of its own and starts attacking the Avengers individually?
No, Mark. Mind. Mind?
Oh, that makes more sense. Loki uses the scepter to take control of Dr. Eric Selvig, who's been working on the Tesseract, and Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye. Nick Fury tries to stop Loki but is unsuccessful. As a response, the Avengers Initiative is formed. We got Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Captain America, and the Hulk. This is exciting, you guys, because this is the first superhero movie where we have this huge blockbuster culmination. During this time, while the Avengers have a good old-fashioned meet and greet, Loki is on the hunt for Iridium to stabilize the power of the Tesseract while utilizing the skills of Hawkeye and the brilliance of Dr. Selvig, who are still being mind-controlled.
Loki ends up getting caught by Captain America and Iron Man, and is now en route, being detained in the helicarrier. Little do the Avengers know, Loki has plans of his own. The helicarrier gets attacked by Hawkeye and mind-controlled S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Loki wanted to get in the mind of Bruce Banner in order to awaken the uncontrolled Hulk, and as a result, take down the Avengers and S.H.I.E.L.D. all at the same time. Loki's plan all along was to take over Earth by opening a portal to release an alien army known as the Chitauri, and in return, he provides them with the Tesseract.
So now we are in New York, and the portal to let the Chitauri army is opening. Cue the Avengers to save the day. We get to see an intense battle sequence that ends with Iron Man sending a nuclear missile up into the portal to destroy the mothership of the Chitauri. Iron Man is successful, and Loki finally gets his butt whipped. This is probably everyone's favorite scene, where he gets his butt whipped by the Hulk, and he is sent back to Asgard with Thor. The world now knows about the Avengers and aliens and superheroes and all that, and is far from seeing more of them in films to come. Through the after credit scene in the movie is a major plot point where we cut to what appears to be a distant galaxy. A fortress hidden in an asteroid formation where we hear the leader of the Chitauri speaking of the Avengers as his force to be reckoned with to no other than Thanos, the destroyer of worlds.
Alright guys, that was exciting, and that was phase 1, folks. Tune in next week when we tackle phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Mark, do your thing, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another great episode of Movie Sense. Be sure to like, share, and most importantly, please subscribe. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at ThisIsMovieSense, and make sure to use the hashtag ThisIsMovieSense.
I like it. Yeah, alright guys, have a good night.
See ya.
Bye. Love you.